Welcome back, everyone, to the college commute. Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Alex. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Once again, we are coming live from Zoom. We're a little busy again this week. No crazy trip this weekend, but making up all the homework that I missed while on my crazy trip. Um,
I picked up extra shifts, so I was working all weekend like a
yeah.
grown man. So that's how life goes.
I think we'll be back. We'll be back live together next week. I think.
Yes, Saturday. I have dedicated my entire Saturday to Alex. Um, Aside from my morning lift, which you know what might bring him, who knows? But we
I'm
got a
sure you'll
day
force me.
planned. We're going out to dinner together. We're watching some fights, and we're gonna have a good weekend, losing some more money. I mean, hypothetical money, of course.
If I'm not dead, I'm getting vaccinated Friday. Tom knows this, but
Oh yes, I told him I hope he's very sick on
yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
yeah. But I'm getting Pfizer, so superior, and I won't feel sick. So
First of all, that's what my whole family got, and they got way more sick than I did.
Thanos, watch your ass. I'm coming for you,
You got to get all the shots if you want to be
bro.
Thanos.
Yeah,
That includes Johnson and Johnson.
yeah, man. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Bro, I heard that Moderna was. I thought you got more sick from the Moderna first shot and more sick from the Pfizer second one.
That's what I heard from everybody. But when I got the Moderna first shot, my arm was just like a limp penis. Like I couldn't do anything with it. And like every time I went to pick up my arm, I was in excruciating pain. Like if I tried to lift it more than like a 30-degree angle.
Right.
So I had to take a couple of days off from the gym because I couldn't do anything. And then my boss just got his first Moderna shot a few days ago, and he said the same thing. His arm was very sore. And then after my second shot, like I had the chills a little bit.
That's
Um,
weird.
I tried to push through, like I acted like I was fine, and I was like, whatever, I'm still gonna work out. And I made it like 20 minutes into my workout, and I had like some severe cold sweats. And like when you have a fever and your body feels raw, and
Hmm.
like your shirt's touching your skin and you don't like it. I
Yep.
felt like that, but with like sweatpants and a sweatshirt on, trying to muscle my way through a lift. And I was like, no, I'm going home.
That's
But
gross.
like my mom and Zach were like miserable after their second Pfizer shot. Like they just felt
Yeah.
so sick.
Bro, my mom told me this, and my mom's a little crazy, but she might be right on this. You know how you said your arm hurt?
Yeah,
Apparently, you're supposed to like move it a bunch when you get the shot, and it's supposed to prevent that. Like you're literally just for like a half hour after, you're supposed to just like shake your arm for like a half hour straight.
really.
Yeah,
Nobody told me that.
and it's supposed to prevent that, I guess, because it spreads out the shit or something. I don't know, but it might be worth a shot. Like I think I'm driving home right after. I'm gonna be on the way home, just fucking waving
Doing
my
the
arm out the window.
Bucky
Yeah,
arm swing.
yeah,
No,
the
no,
entire
I
time.
didn't know that because they make you sit there for like 15 minutes after you get the shot to like monitor you, at least
Right.
where I went. So like I literally just sat there like
Uh,
scrolling through Twitter for like 15 minutes in a hospital.
Bro, I'm gonna be sitting in the waiting room, fucking swinging my arm. Before we get any further, I have a question for all of our listeners. I feel like we do these types of things at the end of the episodes, and sometimes people probably don't listen all the way through. So I'm gonna do it at the beginning, so that way we get ultimate feedback. Thomas and I were thinking about recording video as well as audio for this podcast and putting that up on YouTube. I just kind of wanted to get a feel if that would be something people are interested in or if you really don't care. Either way, we want to know your opinion. We'll probably do it anyway, but if we just kind of want to know what you guys are thinking, whether you'd watch that or it doesn't really matter to you or you don't want it. So if you're listening and you're a regular listener, let us know. Let us know what you think. We'd appreciate the feedback, and we appreciate you sticking around every week.
True. It'll be good quality too. I have a very nice camera that I purchased before I went on a big vacation a couple years ago, and then didn't really use it at all on vacation because I realized I'm not the kind of guy that likes to carry a camera around when I'm doing shenanigans. So
You should have got a
at
chest like thing.
I had one. Yeah, no, I had all of it. I I
No,
have a
still no.
I have a head mount, a chest mount, and like a handle to like walk
Yeah.
around with the guy. I literally
Well, the
have
handle's
everything.
bad. Yeah, you're a Taurus there.
That's what I'm saying. You can't walk.
Yeah.
And I did a few places and I felt so weird. Like when I was walking around the Parthenon, I was like, yo, like I'm straight up holding like a selfie stick camera right now. Like this feels crazy. But
Right,
the
right.
video quality was just so good. And I genuinely don't think I've taken any videos with it since, that
Well, we're gonna
like
be balling.
one walk. So yeah, I got everything set up. Alex, the audio editing wizard,
Yes, sir.
and pretty much it'll sound great. It'll look good. You just have to look at us. So that's kind of your prerogative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll get our facial expressions. Might be Something you want to see might be something you don't want to see, but
That's
either
true.
way,
I
we
don't
don't
want to
really
see
care.
it. I won't watch it, but
Nah, I probably won't watch it. Bro, I was thinking about that. Also, I mean, if there's anything else that you guys want to see on here, just let us know. Send in questions or anything like hypotheticals, whatever. We'll answer them. We'll go into deep conversations about them. But I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I should definitely listen to the full episode like before we post it,
I just
but I never do.
I can't. I don't want to like listen to myself that long. And
Yeah,
I know I'm not saying anything that's like that incriminating on my end.
no,
That just like is that bad that I need to be like, oh, we should edit that out. So it's never a
right, yeah,
huge
yeah.
concern.
That's true. That's true. Jamie, get on that. Start listening. Make sure you listen to the episodes.
Jamie, let us know if we need to shut it down.
Jamie, you've been listening? No, Jamie, you're literally getting paid to just listen to our. This kid, unreal, unbelievable. All right.
Fired.
Anyway, so what I was thinking we could talk about today is some unpopular opinions and whether we agree with them or not.
Oh, okay. I would
Um,
love to hear that. Can I actually start with one?
oh, geez, I had a list of them, but I figured we would have some of our own.
I
And I
only have
think I know where
one.
this is going. So
Oh,
go.
you know exactly where it's going.
I literally was gonna bring this up. Go ahead. Go
this
ahead.
this asshole puts ketchup on his scrambled eggs.
I was thinking about that, but
Would you?
I will stand to that until I die.
My favorite part about this argument is in public, I will always degrade Alex for putting ketchup on his eggs. But when I am in the safety of one room with Alex, like no one else, if I am like eating breakfast with Alex, I'm definitely putting ketchup on my eggs because
Every time he does it, every time.
it's delicious. But if I'm in a different setting, I won't do it. I can't be risked seeing in that light.
That's why a lot of times, honestly, like I feel that. So a lot of times I don't eat like eggs in public because I know that's such a big thing that people judge
It,
people for.
I judge people for it, even though I like it.
Right.
It's just what you got to do sometimes. I won't lie.
It's just one of those things.
You did teach me how to eat a better breakfast with the ketchup on the eggs, the whipped cream instead of syrup on pancakes. That was big.
Fire, right?
That was a game changer. I never even thought about it.
Good, but
I don't know.
I don't know. The one I thought you were going with is that Mark Wahlberg was trash.
Mark Wahlberg is trash.
No, he is not.
Actually, I don't want to talk about that right now. His mom died yesterday, today. So rest in peace, Alma. That is tragic. So,
bro, she was because didn't they do a show on Wahlburgers or something?
Yeah,
she was always in it.
She was always in it because the first restaurant that Paul had opened was named after her down in Hingham, right across from the original Wahlburgers that they had there. So they had like an upscale restaurant that was named after her, and she was definitely like a really really nice woman.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So
there will be no slander of the Wahlbergs today.
Maybe another time, but we'll get there. Maybe we'll do at a future episode. We'll do like unpopular opinion, like famous people edition.
Go off on that, but I am curious what you're loaded up with today. All right.
We'll see how these go. If they're not that good, maybe we can find some other ones. But this one's they seem all right though. All right, tomatoes have zero taste in ruined sandwiches.
Big false. So I'll let you go first because I have a very strong opinion on this.
I agree, but I don't care. Like I don't have a strong opinion. Like I could go with or without. They don't do anything for me. But so I'm kind of 50-50. Go ahead. Let's hear your strong take on
tomatoes. So here's my people don't know how to cook. That's my problem. Tomatoes are delicious, but if you just like take a slice of tomato and throw it on a sandwich, it's not going to be good. It's tomato. It's mostly water. We know this. If you salt your tomatoes before adding it to any food, if you were to make a sandwich and before you added like one slice of tomato, if you salt and pepper your tomato, that sandwich is going to be completely different. It's called food chemistry. Learn how to use salt to extract the flavors from the bland food that you're cooking. That's all I have to say.
That got heated. You're right over there.
Dude, have you ever heard about Creole food? Tomato based down south. New Orleans, baby. Tomato is in everything. They just know how to cook with it. I'm sick of these white people trashing on tomatoes because I don't think they're good because they're just smacking some on their grilled chicken sandwich. Yeah, no shit, it's not good, dude. It's smacked between two pieces of Wonder Bread and some fake butter and grilled bland chicken with no seasoning. No, your sandwiches are bad because you don't know how to cook.
I would just like to point out that Tom is saying this while drinking tea out of a mug that says "Best Grandpa" on it, and it
with
is hilarious.
with a raccoon.
It
See that raccoon?
it also has a raccoon. I can see
Yeah.
it.
No,
You wouldn't be
I
able to see it.
I have a very strong opinion about that because I do think about that frequently. Like whenever, because I do it sometimes. Sometimes I'll cook and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to salt my tomato. And that is genuinely a thought that happens whenever I don't salt my tomato because I know I'm like, oh, it's just soupy now.
Yeah.
What
By
else
the
you got
way,
though?
64% of people agreed with you. So there you go.
64% of people kind of know what they're talking about, or they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
blindly like vegetables.
I mean, I
Assholes.
would say a better argument would be like lettuce, because lettuce has even less taste.
I like the crunch though. I know it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have
true.
taste. I hate romaine lettuce. I think romaine lettuce big time sucks unless you're at the bottom half of it. So the top half that's like the leafy part sucks. I don't want to fucking eat that. Do I look like a rabbit? Do I look like a fucking asshole? No, I don't want that. I want like the bottom crunchy bits. So if you give me a beautiful head of iceberg lettuce, thinly sliced, you know who does iceberg lettuce, right? Subway.
Yes, yeah.
The way they slice it down, and that's how I slice mine at home. I shred it down like that very finely with a knife. When you get that good watery crunchy texture of a sandwich, it can be a game changer. You don't heat up a sandwich with lettuce in it, and you don't use leafy lettuce. You want to use the crunchy bits.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I don't know the difference between iceberg and romaine lettuce.
Okay, so I'll explain it to you. So romaine lettuce would be like what you would have in like a Caesar salad, where it's like a long stalk kind of, where
Okay.
like it has the base and it comes up. And iceberg head of lettuce is like the green circle that looks like a head.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
you. I
yeah,
got you. I
yeah.
got
So
you.
that's the difference.
Yep. Mm.
Romaine lettuce sucks, and it's always giving people like E. coli and
I was
shit.
gonna say, yeah, isn't that shit like bad for you?
Just because people don't clean it, and we live in a very
Well,
industry driven world that
we are
just
dirty.
fucks us.
We are dirty.
So that's
Uh,
my opinion on lettuce and tomatoes.
vegetables.
Vegetables. They're good. Learn how to use them.
I don't like vegetables. Just kidding. They're all right.
Do you like Brussels sprouts?
I honestly don't think I've ever had them.
What?
Good
I grew up
cauliflower.
Yeah, I love
I
cauliflower.
love cauliflower.
Best way you want to know the best way to cook cauliflower?
What?
You take the whole head,
Yeah.
you cut it into like steak like portions,
Yeah.
like straight down the middle, a little
Uh,
bit of olive oil, season it, slap it on a grill top at a low heat and roast it. Fucking fire.
can you do that for me?
I can. Sometimes I also I'll chop it up into like I'm not trying to like rip off like chicken nuggets here, but I'll put it in like nugget sized pieces, slap some olive oil on it, throw in some fresh herbs, some seasonings, and I'll just air fry them and roast it. That's really good. That's how I cook Brussels sprouts as well, and I think they're delicious.
I see. Why is that roasting chicken nuggets?
Well, because now with like the whole plant-based movement, a lot of people are like, "Oh, look at this alternative for chicken. It's cauliflower bites," which I think is fucking stupid.
No,
It's if you want to eat plants, that's fine. Stop pretending it's meat, though.
that's not chicken.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's perfectly fine if you don't want to eat meat, but how come you're not eating meat, but going to the extent of trying to make everything meat? You know what?
Yeah,
That's weird to me.
yeah.
It's also
Things that are like, I don't know. Yeah, they just like they said like, oh, like that, like, oh, this is like the substitute for chicken nuggets. Where it's like, just don't call them that. Just call it like cauliflower nuggets,
cauliflower bites. That's fine. Or people are
right?
like,
And that sounds fire.
yeah, they're like,
Sounds
oh, this
delicious.
jackfruit's a great alternative for pulled pork. Like, just call it jackfruit. Like, that's fine. No
Right?
one.
Yeah.
I don't even like pulled pork that much. I don't like
Well,
jackfruit either. It smells like
I
death.
don't. What the hell is that?
It's a
I'm so
huge.
uncultured. If you don't
It's
know.
a huge gourd that is just really crazy, and it's the stickiest thing I've ever cooked with because I did make like
Oh,
pulled jackfruit one time.
how
It,
does that
it
replace pulled pork?
when you cook it down properly, like if you were to crock pot it can give you like the shredded texture a little bit with like the pods that you pull out of it. It makes sense, but it's not the same, and we just need to stop pretending that vegetables are meat for the sake of making us feel better about eating vegetables.
I would say that's a
Vegetables are fine.
fruit since the fruit's in the name.
Yeah, no, that's actually very fair and something I haven't considered up to this moment. But yes,
Fruits
you're
and
right,
vegetables.
Alex. Yeah, you're right.
Fruits and
You're right. I'll
vegetables. All
take
right.
that one.
All right. We got to move on from fruits and vegetables. I think we spent like 5 minutes on that. That's okay. All right. This one, Come on. Nickelback is a good band.
Nickelback is a great band, and fuck anyone who thinks otherwise. You don't like Nickelback?
No, 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 no. 53% of people disagree with that.
Why are people are posers? We need to stop pretending that Nickelback's bad.
Nickelback is good. If today was your last day,
That's not the song that would have came to my mind first,
tomorrow was
but
too late.
like,
What's the first Nickel? When you hear Nickelback, what do you think?
I mean, obviously Rockstar comes to mind,
That's mine too. I don't know why
but
that one came to mind.
I think it's just because it was most popular. But like Animals, you're telling me if you're in your car on a sunny day, sunglasses on, Animals by Nickelback comes on, and you don't immediately want to slam your foot down to the floor and start doing 90 on whatever road you're on because you're just getting so hyped up, you're wrong. That's an
Wrong.
ultimate hype
Yeah,
song.
yeah. It's terrible.
Not saying that I illegally drive whenever that song comes on, but it just makes me want to do that. I would never irresponsibly drive.
Never. Nickelback's a good band. If you don't like them, go listen to them.
I do just want to emphasize we are not sponsored by Nickelback. All of these thoughts and opinions are driven by our own selves. We are not connected to Nickelback in any kind of financial situation that would result in us plugging their band in a good light for our own potential gain.
Nickelback, if you want us to sponsor you, though, come on the show.
Nickelback, can we get some hearts in the chat, please?
All right. Putting a period at the end of a text message adds aggression. Yes.
It depends on what you're talking about, but yeah.
If it's my mom, no, because she just doesn't know what she's doing.
If you're sending a formal text, I think it's appropriate.
Well, who are you texting that's like formal?
My bosses.
You text them or are you emailing them?
Both. I don't like sending emails because I gotta like type in all my passwords.
I got a checking and a saving.
Yeah,
it takes a while for the money to transfer. I got you.
And if I'm like cooking breakfast, I don't want to like go grab my laptop to pull up like a formal email to like ask my boss what time he wants to like hop on Zoom to chat for a little bit. So I'll just shoot him a text, be like, hey, good morning, dude. Like, what time do you want to meet today to discuss this document or whatever? It's just way easier to send text. So I do text pretty much all of my coworkers and bosses, unless it's like job sensitive stuff that I have to send in an email, because obviously I cannot talk about like our actual job over text.
Right. So are we disagreeing with that then? I would say so.
I think it's a gray area. Like if I were to text you and like if you were to text me and put a period at the end, I'd be like, hey, what the fuck, man? Like what's your deal?
Like if Lindsay texted me K period,
well, that's
I might as well move to California. I'm dying tonight.
Yeah, no, we're going to San Diego. You're starting a new life together. That's just that. But
stay. I don't know.
Yeah, if a boss or like someone who's just like, even if they're like sending me official plans, you know what I'm saying? Like something that's like a little bit more formal than like a, yo, what's cracking, dude? Don't put a period for like the informal stuff. But
that one's pretty split.
Yeah, I can see that in certain like if it's someone you text frequently and you're just like adding periods at the end. Also, what's up with old people always putting 3 periods at the end of everything? They'll be like, I hope you have a good day. ... And I'm like, what, am I gonna die today?
Are you coming after me today?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's like ominous and threatening. And I see it all the time with older people. They just love putting 3 periods at the end of a sentence.
Because they can't see and they're like, did I put a period? And then by that point, there's 3.
I don't know, but it's concerning. And like every time I see
your glasses, Grandma. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, like, Granny, are you coming for me? What's good? What's your damage right now? And it just puts so much uncertainty. There's no confidence behind their text. There's just all these dots after. And I'm like, what are you unsure about?
Maybe they are unsure.
I don't know, but between that and the Oxford comma, people need to get better at talking.
Yeah, my grammar is terrible.
I'm very good with grammar. My grammar is great if I try.
Yes, exactly. But when I'm just like typing, I just go and I'm like, yeah, Grammarly will tell me to fix it at the end.
Yeah, sorry to anyone who texts me. My grammar is probably not good. Because I don't care. My punctuation is rarely right, and like my periods sometimes aren't there. Sometimes I'll just send multiple texts just because I'm texting. Like it's not a formal environment. I don't care. If I'm writing a paper, my grammar will be on point. I am pretty good at it. Also, when I'm just talking to people that I'm comfortable with, my grammar might suck sometimes. The only thing terrible. That I will never make an exception for like there, and there, or like your and your. Those will always be spelled properly, no matter what context. You're an asshole if you can't do that.
Sometimes I send Snapchats to Lindsay and it like autocorrects to the wrong there. And I feel like she thinks I'm stupid.
That's a little forgivable. But I, the social anxiety in me does check for that.
Yeah.
Like if I anytime I need to type there, you can bet that I'm going over that word a couple times to make
Yeah.
sure my context is perfect.
Because that's the one thing people fucking love to get on people for.
It's an easy target, and like I I will stand my ground. You can come at me, and I'll accept it. I will not give you low hanging fruit, such as poor grammar in very easy situations. I can't do it.
Fair enough. By the way, 52% of people think that it does add aggression. That's pretty split though. So, but
I like Steve Harvey right now. I like these statistics.
you like this stats, bro.
Yeah, the
Uh,
statistics actually have been pretty surprising so far.
yeah, there's
For
also a
myself.
lot of people that have done this. I mean, it's on BuzzFeed, but
Oh,
like
dude,
600,000 people per thing. Like,
I'm not a big BuzzFeed guy, but they really kill the game
uh,
with random fucking surveys that mean nothing.
yeah, a lot of times they like post stuff though, and like it's wrong. I'm like, all right, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah. But they definitely have a lock on the whole like, hey, do you want to figure out what vegetable you are?
yeah, 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 they
They're really
really
good
do.
at that.
And we're like scrolling through Facebook, and you're like, wait, do I? Do I want to know what vegetable I am?
Yeah, and then you look at it and you're like, what the fuck?
And then you end up spending like an hour on this test, and then you get to the end, and you're pissed because you get fucking like broccoli or something.
Yeah, well, question, what's your least favorite vegetable?
Broccoli.
Really?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's because I like cauliflower. I
That's
don't like
weird.
broccoli.
I feel like most people are kind of the opposite because again, I don't like shit broccoli. Raw broccoli can suck a fat one.
Fucking sucks.
Little bit of butter, some salt and pepper. Broccoli can be manageable. I hate green beans though.
Don't tell Lindsay that. What's your favorite vegetable?
See, now that's an interesting one. Do starches count? No, starches don't
Uh,
count. No, it doesn't count. It's a
no.
starch.
Yeah, no.
For vegetables, I don't like. I want to go with like the tried and true, something like zucchini. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how
Ooh,
versatile it is.
true, true.
Sometimes I'll cut them into like French fry shapes, slap some olive oil, dip them in some panko breadcrumb, throw some Cajun seasoning on there, dip them in like a little chipotle aioli. I have a great lower calorie French fry type snack that's delicious. Or you can cut them into big rings, throw some bacon, onion, and cheese on top, and bake it in the oven. I think zucchini is pretty good. I would say that's up there.
Do you like celery?
By itself. If you add
Okay.
celery to any of my food, I'll get really pissed off because all I can taste is celery, unless
I
it's peanut butter.
That's true. I had or at UMass. I'm sorry, that was fucking hard to get out. They make this is place that makes buffalo chicken wraps, and they put little chunks of celery in it.
Uh,
And no, it is good though
is it
because
really?
hear me out because they're small enough that you can't really taste it, but you get that really really nice crunch.
Isn't that what purple onion's for?
Yeah, but it doesn't make your breath smell like shit.
Oh, you're not fucking learn how to cook purple onions properly.
I'm not cooking it.
God damn it.
It's not
Oh,
me. Yell at UMass Dining. Okay.
I
Oh,
can
we're
fix it.
we're back on vegetables.
I'm
How did
sorry.
we get here? We're sorry, people. Well,
It's a very vegetable dominant episode. If we got any nutritionists, pop in the chat
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us know why we're wrong about vegetables.
or
I'm sure,
dietitians. I
sure,
don't care.
sure, we said something wrong.
I first of all, no, I didn't. I'm very good with food, Alex. Don't
Right,
fuck
right.
with me about
I probably said
vegetables.
something wrong. All right, this one is very interesting actually, and because we both work around like food servers and we've been food servers and stuff like that. So this one says America should forget their tipping culture and set a minimum wage for servers.
First of all, I just want to ask why you snubbed me on that when I literally am a server. First of all, um,
Wait, what did I
so
say? I said
you
like,
said we work around them
oh,
as if I don't actively do it.
well, I said we also work. Well, you're more of a cook now. Well, actually, no, sorry.
I cook in the restaurant when I'm at
All right, all
I'm
right.
at the catering facility.
Okay.
I am a server.
I am sorry.
I wear many hats
It'll
and I pull them all off, baby.
it'll never happen again.
What do you think though? Do you think we should do that?
I don't mind the I think tipping is nice because I feel like it's just like I feel like serving is such a hard job, and they're really going out of their like if they're nice and they're a good server, they really are going out of their way to like make sure your dinner is great. Like make sure you have drinks, make sure your food tastes good, make sure you're getting all this stuff. So like I don't think we should get rid of it completely, but I think there probably should be more of like a minimum amount that you could like make per hour, which I know they kind of have now, I
I think
think.
it should be higher. So I
Right. I think it
that's
needs to be
how
higher though.
that's how I look at it. I think they should make a higher hourly. Um,
Right.
doesn't have to be the same as like a normal job, something that's fair that they're actually getting paid out from it and not getting boned by taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
I like the idea of tipping, provided you're not an asshole. Because you and me obviously like we care about tipping people. Like, even if I
We
have bad
tip
ser
big.
even if I get shit service, you're still gonna get a good tip because like
You're
I
still gonna get 20%.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Because I'm
wouldn't say
like,
good, but I'm
yeah,
gonna give
yeah,
you 20%.
20% for shit service. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
you could be having a bad day. Like I've worked in restaurants, I've been a
Right.
server, like I've had bad days, and as much as you try not to reflect that on other people, like we're human. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So
it's impossible not to.
no, and I'm not going to hold that against anyone who's doing a job, because realistically, with if you're living off tips, sometimes you can have great nights.
Yeah.
It's been really hard since the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Because people aren't going out as much. People have been laid off from their jobs. There's not as much like expendable money going around to help these people out. So I think it should be a higher minimum wage. I like the idea of tipping though, because if you are a waitress or a waiter at a successful business and you're going off of tips, really like what we need is benefits and like the higher
Yeah.
places. If you work for a very successful restaurant, if you could be a server and make like health benefits, you know what I'm saying, like a normal job, your pay would be very, very good. The only issue is like, there's not the stability of working in these jobs, which creates the stigma around it that it's meant for like unskilled workers, which you and I both know it's a very high skilled job.
Oh,
Being a
totally. Yeah.
being
Yeah.
a server is way harder than my 9 to 5 job,
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If they had the benefits and like the stability to be able to do that, it would be a very good. I'm not saying it's not a good profession. It would definitely take it to a higher level.
Right. Because it
And I
needs to be
think
done because
it does.
like entertainment and like dining and stuff is a big part of just I don't know like human culture. So
That's what
like
I'm saying. It's such a big part of our day. Like
yeah.
we humans are social creatures. Like we love going out to eat. Like how often have you and me gone out to eat together? Like just
All
randomly,
the
like
time.
all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people shit on these professions, and it's like, well, if you want a good tip, like, or if you want to make more money, like, get a different job. And it's like they're like, we need these people to like do our things. It's just, even if you're working at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Like, people shit on them, but it's like they're doing it because you keep showing up. Like,
Oh no, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
a lot
I
of
definitely think
opinions.
there I definitely think there needs to be more of like because I thought there was something. I don't know if it's in Mass or it was just at a restaurant that someone worked at. But if they didn't make a certain amount in tips that added to like $10 an hour, then like the restaurant had to cover that. But if
Yeah,
they
so I
made
know.
more than that, then the restaurant didn't cover it, obviously, and they just made their usual wage.
So it was like that for me when I worked at the Chinese place. Like,
Right, right,
if
right.
if I didn't make at least minimum wage on the night, my bosses would cover it for me. I don't know if that's like for legal purposes or whatever, because I've definitely worked at places that don't do that either. Um, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely I don't think we should get rid of the tipping culture. I do. I don't know. It's so weird when I go to other countries because like I still tip just because like I'm used to that. But like, when we were in Greece, like it's custom that like you don't have to tip, but if you want to leave like a euro or whatever, like you can do that. But
Right, right.
I'd be like, here's 10. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
exactly,
this
exactly.
feels cheap, but I know this is also like
I'm
not what
also
should happen.
I'm also weird about tipping in some scenarios because so say you order pizza from Christo's downtown, okay?
Hmm.
If I go pick it up, they give you a card, like sorry, you give them your card and then you have to sign. And there's a spot to leave a tip. But nobody served me and nobody delivered my food. Are you still supposed to tip?
I do just because working in the
Who am I
restaurant.
tipping though?
So usually it would be split between all the people working the counter.
All right, then
who
I'm
kind
okay
of
with
do
that.
that. Yeah, that's usually how, I mean, that's how they do it from my experience, but I never thought about it before, to be honest. Um,
I never either until I started using like my credit card places and like
yeah,
I
because
kept
the
getting those receipts. I was like,
and more often than not, they are making minimum wage. But if we're being like realistic, minimum wage doesn't mean shit.
no.
So I feel like, even if you're tossing them like a couple extra bucks, and if everyone throughout the night's doing that, like maybe we can help these people get a more livable wage. So
That's true.
since I've
All right,
worked very
I'll do it.
closely,
I'll do it. I'll
yeah,
say
I always do it. Like if I go to a coffee shop and they spin the thing around for me to like sign on the iPad with my finger, I always throw like
I do that. Yeah,
if
right.
I'm buying a $5 cup of coffee, what's 20% added to that? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna hesitate. If I'm spending 20 bucks on pizza, I'll throw them, $3, $4 here and there, whatever, just picking it up because that means nothing to me. But if it's adding up for them, it could make a difference. So
I
I
do
do
that.
think that's important.
I do that when I'm when there's like homeless people or anything like that, like on the side of the road or whatever with their signs or whatever, and like I leave Starbucks and I'm like, if I can afford this $100 coffee, I can afford to give this guy $5. And if I can't afford that, then I shouldn't be getting this coffee.
You know what my unpopular opinion about homeless people is?
Yes. Go ahead.
If I give you money, I don't give a fuck what you do with it.
Nope. Me
If
either.
if I watch you take $10 from me, walk into a liquor store and buy a $10 bottle of booze, I do not care
Nope.
because
Because
you're
you did your
homeless.
part, and that's all that
That
matters.
not even that, dude. Like people deserve to enjoy life. I mean, you and me, dude. We have drinks sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like whatever. Like it. Maybe the guy before me like gave him a meal or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there comes to a certain life where like when you're living in the suck that bad, like yeah, maybe you do have to fight for like every meal. But at the same time, like if you want to enjoy yourself a little bit, bring a little bit of a happiness and peace to your day. I don't care where you find it. If you're out there living on the street, I don't care if you go. I mean, let's not aid in the drug problem right now, but like if you're gonna take that money and like go buy it, and also I feel like law of averages, like more often than not. I mean, it's hard these days because a lot of people like scalping for money anyway because they
Yeah.
make a ton
Yeah.
of money, and it's hard
Yeah.
to find like the genuine people. But if you're like a true homeless person, like more often than not, like a lot of people are snubbing you throughout the day. It sucks. Like, whatever, man. Take the money. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I agree. See, we're coming up with our own unpopular opinions here.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I totally agree with that. That's my outlook on it too. All right. 71% of people say we should get rid of tipping. They are stupid. Go, I don't know. Bury
Even if we
yourself in
got
the
rid of
sand.
tipping, I'd still probably tip just because it's
I would just
ingrained
feel
in it.
bad. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different in other countries because they make more money than us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, this one. I don't know how you feel about this one. Honestly, I don't remember. But so this one is the show Friends is painfully unfunny is the most overrated thing ever.
It's fucking terrible.
I I honestly don't care. I watched the whole thing.
I did too.
My thing was if I was interested enough to watch the whole thing, there must be something about it that's entertaining. But I don't think it's necessarily good, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Like
No,
compared to like The Office, obviously it's trash, but
I
like
totally agree with
there's
that.
something about it.
I think it's overrated. I think that's the
Yeah,
issue
yeah,
because
yes, yeah,
obviously I was able to retain attention to watch the whole show thoroughly,
right.
and I've never been upset if it's like back in the day before we only purchased streaming services. If you're like surfing through the channels and like Friends came on because they used to just like play episodes on Nickelodeon throughout the day, I'll
Right,
like
right, right.
I'll watch it in passing and it like doesn't upset me.
And I
But like,
laugh here and there.
yeah,
I'll giggle.
but people are crazy about it,
Yeah, that's a
and
lot.
like and I'm not going to cast too many stones because obviously we're huge Office fans. Like we're huge
And people
Marvel
don't like The
fans. That's what I'm
Office.
saying. People don't like Marvel. People don't like The
They're
Office.
stupid,
People
but
don't like Star Wars because their parents didn't raise them right, and
yep,
that's
nope.
okay.
They have wrong opinions, but it's fine.
Yeah, but my opinion, I do think that Friends is very overrated.
You want to know
Great.
something I do think about it though? Is I think if you grew up with it, you have the right to be over excited about it. I don't know why, but like because I don't know.
I can see what you're saying. It's like the nostalgia effect. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right. But
there's a
like
lot of
people
shows.
now that are like, oh, it's the best thing ever. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, my sister loves it. Like she's rewatched it like 3 times. Like I get her freaking Friends merch, and she absolutely loves it. I do use her coffee cup, the Central Perk cup that she uses, just
Those
because
cups are pretty nice.
it's a very big mug and it fits more coffee than my usual coffee mug. That's why I take it, truth be told. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's overrated. I don't like hate people that really love it. I get it because
The best part of that show is the fact that Jennifer Aniston is a fucking smoke. Best part.
she. Can I give you another unpopular
Do
opinion?
you
I
not think
think
she's attractive?
no, she's beautiful.
Okay, okay, okay.
During that time period, I was like weirdly more attracted to Courtney Cox.
No, I totally agree.
I don't know. Monica was just very beautiful to
Did you
me. I
like
don't.
the short hair or the long hair?
I like the long hair.
I
I
don't
think, but
remember.
I didn't
Maybe.
hate the short hair. But no, I always thought Monica was like very beautiful, and I liked her like humor and personality a little bit better in the show. I don't
Well,
know,
yeah,
Court.
Rachel's personality is fucking terrible, but
Yeah, unfortunately, it's life. Courtney Cox hasn't aged as finely as Jennifer
no,
Aniston. You
no.
can't blame her for that because Jennifer Aniston is a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she
That's
also has no kids and
yeah,
all
no
this
dig
shit.
on
So
Courtney Cox. Jennifer Aniston has aged like a fine cheese wheel. But
yeah, yeah.
during Friends, I do
She might
think
be taught her now,
yeah, but
because she's got that like
yeah,
cougar vibe, you know?
yeah, the older woman thing. It's nice.
Yeah,
She's distinguished now. She's
yeah,
very highly respected in everything she does. She's a great
yeah,
woman. But back in the Friends area, I had a little bit more of a thing for. I had a crush on Courtney Cox a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Best part about that show actually is the theme song. It's a good
Pretty
theme
good,
song.
pretty good. I liked when they had the monkey on the show.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Look at us. We're Friends fans. We low key like Friends.
Yeah, yeah, we do. We so do. See, that's what I mean. Like, I don't remember it being like this hilarious show, but like, there's just something about it that you just like
There's
enjoy.
just so much around it. You know what I'm saying? That it sucks
I
you in. It's
think,
like crack.
I think it's because we all thrive to live a life like that, where like
Yeah,
you just like have like friends that you live across the hall from, and it's just like everyone's coming and going. It's kind of just like this one big living situation, and like you're like really, really close, and like, and then you all get married.
I mean, if you think about it, that's really what is so drawing in about New Girl because it's
Yeah,
more relatable. Because if you were,
yeah,
what's the plot of New Girl? There isn't one.
there is.
It's just friends living together.
Right.
But when you watch it, and it's like it's not super unrealistic where they're doing crazy things. You know what I'm saying? You're like watching it, and like what really draws you in is the relationships between the people. And like I think that's what's so attractive about the shows is that it's not giving us like crazy unrealistic expectations. Like it's a little bit more plausible. But like if you look at The Office, everyone's biggest thing is Jim and Pam. If you look at like How I Met Your Mother, it's like the relationships between the people that really matters. And they're funny shows, obviously, but I think what really draws the attention in for me anyway is just like the relationships between the people. Like if you were to ask me why I rewatched The Office, I love Jim and Pam. I love seeing their story from
Yeah.
start to finish as they're like interacting with each other. And I think the same thing with New Girl with like Schmidt and Cece, like Nick and Jess, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just
Winston
how
and
the
his cat.
yeah, like the interactions they have is like way more interesting to me than like the comedy of the show. But like don't get me wrong, like I crack up laughing at the show sometimes, but like
Yeah.
I've also cried at episodes of New Girl just because of like how personal it gets sometimes. I think that's what's very appealing about these shows is what you were saying about Friends is, we see that and we want to live that life.
Yeah, I think so. I just want to go on the record. I loved, loved, loved New Girl. But the last 2 seasons are garbage, bro. They're
So I just
rough.
I just rewatched them recently. I don't want to say they're rough. I just
I
think
do.
the show was so good before it. I think if you were to
Yeah.
watch these at see, I don't know.
If
It
anyone
actually
wants
kind
to
of
watch New Girl, just watch seasons 1 through 5. You'll be good.
I don't know. I feel like you need the
And then
the
skip to
ending
the
arc.
last episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely need the ending arc there, which
Because the
wraps
last
up pretty
episode,
quick.
see, I think the last episodes proves our point that the other ones were so much better because they
Hmm.
reference all the things they reference are from the first like 4 seasons, and they don't
Yeah,
reference like, anything from the 5 or 6 because they're just not as like good. I feel like.
and this is why I'm going back on my statement. I think the only thing that makes them good is that it wraps up all of the arcs of the show. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
the first 4 seasons of New Girls, you really fall in love with like all of these characters that like you can't not finish it out because
Right.
you like
Right.
you they set up a lot of things, and there's like a lot of anticipation between different arcs that like you're sucked in. You need to see it through. You need to know what would happen. And a lot of people think that Nick should have ended up with is it Negan?
Reagan.
Reagan. I don't know why I said
Negan?
Negan. I'm so
That's the
sorry.
guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know.
That's the guy that kills people with his bat.
He's a badass.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that thought that Nick should have ended up with Reagan instead. Which,
No.
no way. She kind of sucked.
Wait, I have to say something. I told Lindsay this the other day. My ultimate celebrity crush has gone back to what it was when I was 12 years old. And it is Megan Fox. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, listen. We were watching, okay, I'm going to tell a quick little story here. So Tom was here at the apartment, and it was
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was the night after drinking, and it was like noon the next day, and we were like hungover, and whatever. It was raining out. I think it was disgusting. And me, Nick, and Tom were sitting in the living room watching New Girl, and we're all like talking, whatever, just shooting the shit. And I swear to God, Megan Fox came on that TV for the first time that season, and we fell silent. I'm not kidding. I swear we all were like drawn in. There was something about that woman, and it is unreal.
She is gorgeous, first of all. And Transformers Megan Fox was obviously like a different level,
and
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my 12-year-old self was...
Yeah, but like part of me now seeing her like more mature and like established.
Doing
and,
actual like acting.
Yeah, now that she's like a woman and like,
yeah.
I don't know, I really do like Megan Fox, and like, I'll be honest, I love Machine Gun Kelly. Like seeing them together like brings me joy. Like I see them and I'm like, that's a fucking power couple right there.
That's so funny.
So
he got shit on by Eminem, but that's okay.
Dude, Eminem, unpopular opinion. I respect his talent. He changed the game, and he really did change it. He is overhyped.
Don't go there.
I respect all of his talent and all of the things that he did for the culture and the music industry. I think people are crazy about him, and it's too much.
I'm not obsessed with him. I like his music, but
Machine Gun Kelly is a great rapper. I don't think Eminem ruined that for him, but I do think MGK as a rock artist is 10 times better. It fits better. It sounds better. It's more fitting to his personality. So I am glad that he made that switch, but I don't think Eminem ruined him.
No, definitely not. I mean, just the diss track was good, but it obviously didn't ruin his career. Like he's fine.
It was good, but I don't know. You listen to like Eminem's new music, and he's like, "That's an awfully hot coffee pot." I'm like, "What are we talking about here? What are we doing? What are we hanging up?"
The old shit's good.
The old shit's great, but he's made enough money that he can retire.
Yeah.
No one needs to hear from him no more.
He's just selling out now.
That's what I'm saying. It sucks to see people fall like that,
bro. I honestly just want to go to this unpopular opinion because it's actually kind of funny. But this one says the letter Q is unnecessary and has no reason to be in the English alphabet. I disagree, but I think it's funny to think about.
I disagree, but if you were to ask me to come up with an argument as to why I do, I don't think I could give you one.
If you asked me to come up with an argument for why it shouldn't be, though, I wouldn't be able to come up with one either.
I think the best argument is that you could use a K. Or not use it at all because it's fucking silent half the time. So I think that's a great argument. I do like the versatility of being able to use it in certain positions.
How would you spell queen?
Queen.
No, how would you?
Oh, I meant Kueen.
That's keen.
Not if you put the U after. Kueen.
But
when you use certain letters anyway after words, it changes the way that you pronounce it anyway. So if you use a KU instead of a QU, the U could signify that you're pronouncing the K in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I think a KU would be just as valuable as a QU.
I'm trying to think of a word that's KU that then it wouldn't make sense, but I can't think.
It doesn't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Is the letter Q unnecessary? Have I never thought
it's very often that you see KU, and I'm sure there's instances of it. But I think a KU could be very interchangeable with QU. I don't know that many words. I'm not a wordologist.
Does this like keep people up at night? Like, do they really care if there's a Q?
I don't know. You know what keeps me up at night
What?
that I think about sometimes?
What?
What was the first chiropractor doing? Like, how did people get into chiropractor? Like, when you just like crack people's back, like,
Bro,
you
they
think that
probably killed some people at
that's
first.
what I'm saying. Like, when I've been to a chiropractor many times, and I'm still worried they're gonna kill me, despite the fact that they have a weird
Bro,
degree
that
that still
shit's
makes no
fucking
sense to me.
scary, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So what were they doing before they like learned the anatomy of it? Like the first chiropractor who like taught other chiropractors, he was like, "Oh fuck it, right, dude? Just try to snap his neck. He won't hurt anymore. He won't be alive, but he won't be in chronic pain." I don't know.
I don't know.
I always wonder how that started.
Acupuncture?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, but who the fuck was just stabbing needles in people and
I
like,
want to say I don't know this for a fact. There's no grounding behind this thought process. My thoughts lean towards like China or like Buddhism and like the spirituality aspect of things, and the idea of like puncturing just enough to like relieve the bad vibes from your body. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of mindset. Maybe that's how people got into acupuncture, and maybe they realized that it was effective.
that was one of the smartest things I think I've ever heard.
That's just like my off the cuff opinion, but you know, like it makes sense to you, right?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, releasing the bad juju, the bad spirits, the devil from your body, however they might have spun it. I would imagine that's how acupuncture came about because I feel like that's how a lot of like Western type medicine kind of came about was based off of like more spiritual ideals. But again, cannot emphasize enough. I know nothing about that.
Nope.
I have
We are
never read
not
about it.
sponsored by acupuncture.
No, that is an off the off the cuff opinion about acupuncture. I am not saying it for any business type gains from the acupuncture industry or the Chinese Western medicine industry.
Should babies be banned from movie theaters?
Yes. The fuck do
100%.
what do they need to
Get
be in
your
there for?
fucking baby out of here.
It's rude. Okay, so I fully respect the fact that because you have a baby, you should still be able to go out and enjoy things.
True.
I feel like it is rude, disrespectful, and irresponsible to bring a baby into a movie theater because that kid's probably going to be fucking scared in a dark room with
Yeah.
loud noises. What
Yeah.
business does a baby have being in a movie theater? It benefits them zero, and it
Like,
harms them more.
and
So
also, I get you want to go out, but you're not going to enjoy the movie either.
that's what I'm saying. You got to worry about your baby the whole time, and
Right?
like
And
unless
you're not
you
going to be
have
able to
that,
hear the movie.
yeah. And if you have absolutely no care, and if your kid starts crying and you don't care, first of all, you suck.
Yeah.
Second of all,
Real.
like if you do care, like I don't know, how can you sit through a movie knowing your baby's just having a bad time?
Yeah. Leave your baby at home, people.
That's what I'm saying.
Get a
Get a babysitter.
babysitter.
And people can't do that, and I respect that. I get
That's true.
that.
That's true.
But there's other things that you can do that doesn't include going to a movie theater.
Plenty of things. Go watch the sunset.
That's what go for a walk outside. I don't
Yeah.
know. Watch alligators swim. If you're in an area
Yeah.
that is
Okay.
populated by alligators.
Don't get eaten.
We don't have those here.
All right. We aren't killing the planet. We're killing ourselves, and the planet will restore itself after we're gone. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but like
Wait. We aren't killing the planet. We're killing ourselves. Well, both. We're
we're
killing the planet, which is also killing us.
so I have the weird argument that like it's cyclical, like the planet typically does this stuff anyway to expunge itself, you know, it goes through phases. We are rapidly speeding up that
Yeah,
process
yeah,
far quicker than anything should have any business doing, and that only harms ourselves. And obviously there's like so many planets out there, you know what I'm saying? But this is the only one we can live on. We should treat it right because in turn if we treat this planet right, we're going to have a better life. We will be treated better.
Theo wants it. Theo wants you all to treat the planet right.
Yeah, dude. He wants to go outside and find some good sticks. He doesn't want to be picking up your
Yeah,
used
no.
needles and
Bro,
used
there is
condoms.
trash for days out there. Pick up your trash,
It's
people.
disgusting. People who litter are bottom of the barrel people.
Yeah, like get out of here.
If I'm driving, someone throws something out my window, I'll stop my car. You're getting it. I'm not going
Oh.
nowhere until that trash is off the ground. I will not stand for littering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's just so many other options.
Orange juice with pulp is better than orange juice without pulp. No.
People, I was listening to people talk about this the other day. People really think that foods are better and classier because like you add a texture to it.
No.
Pulp does not make orange juice better. It's weird.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't. I feel
It's
I'm
like
drinking
chunky. It would be like
semen.
drinking chunky milk.
Yeah, that's what I meant instead of what I said.
I mean, it's a
Chunky
little
milk.
different, but
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's also definitely what I meant. but no, just because you add like a weird texture to a natural juice doesn't make it better. I mean, I'm not a huge juice person in general. Like, you know me, I never drink juice unless it's in booze. And I don't really drink
That's
that
true.
much now these
I
days
like
anyway.
orange juice. You know that, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. I used to drink a
It,
shit ton of orange juice.
yeah, yeah, you did. But if I'm
Yeah.
having if I'm really low on carbs one day and I want to get like a good lift in, sometimes I'll make up for my lower carbs with some orange juice because it's like it's easily digestible. It doesn't taste bad. It's pretty good. I also think apple juice might be a little bit better than orange juice.
No.
But I think it's better, but I think orange juice is easier to drink more frequently.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But I think apple juice is better, but I think orange juice is better for more frequent occasions.
Okay. Okay.
I couldn't drink apple juice all the time. I love the taste of it. It's very delightful and refreshing when I have it. But if I had to pick a juice to have more frequently, it would be orange juice just because it has like the bitterness to it that is more easily accepted by my palate.
I agree. Cold weather is much better than warm weather. No, go fuck yourself.
No. What's your perfect temperature, do you think? Like outside, like
70.
70? I would say that's
70.
pretty good. I really love sweatshirt weather where you can like wear a sweatshirt comfortably. That
So
might
like
just
60.
Yeah, that might just because I have a poor body image and I like to wear a sweatshirt to cover myself up a little bit and I'm just more comfortable and more layers. But as far as like lounging outside, I think 70 is great because it's not too hot, but it's warm enough that you can wear like a t-shirt and shorts and like do things outside without like dying or being freezing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say that's a good number. I'll take it.
Okay.
Inside the house though needs to be like 64, 63
60,
degrees.
62 at all times.
62 is perfectly fine. I like being cold if I'm inside a house.
All times.
If I'm hot inside a house, I'm upset. I would much rather be
Yeah,
able to add a layer to get to a preferred temperature than know that I have nothing I can do
if you
about
keep
it.
your house at like 75 or something,
Psychopath.
you are
Psychopath.
crazy. Go get checked.
Yeah, I don't like it. Get off my
Making the
podcast.
bed is a pointless chore and a waste of time. Yep.
I make my
That's just because I'm
bed.
lazy.
I make my bed every day of the work week.
It's good. I think
It makes
people
me
like
feel
it
better.
because it's part of like a routine.
Yeah, no, it makes me feel better. I'm not like under the mindset of like, oh, if you make your bed every day, you know you started off your day doing something productive. I don't care about that. I like looking at clean rooms. I love the aesthetic feeling. Like you've seen me deep clean my room. You see how good I can make my room look sometimes. I love seeing that. And I feel like my room doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing if I have like a dirty bed. So I typically do make it in the morning. And as you can see right now, oftentimes in work meetings, you can see my bed behind me. And
Yeah,
because oftentimes I'm in work meetings with some pretty high up people, I don't want them to be looking at me like, dude, your unmade bed is just like sitting in the background. Like, what's good with you?
that's true. I feel like it does look like weird. I don't know. Colleges shouldn't force you to take classes irrelevant to your career path. Totally disagree. Diversify yourself. Learn new
I
things.
I disagree to an argument that I'm not going to get into, like stop charging kids so much money for college and making it
That
unreasonable.
I agree with.
But the general thing of like I like the idea of like the liberal arts of like diversifying things because
Yeah.
like I have learned so many practical skills in like my art appreciation classes or my language courses and like all these random classes that I never would have otherwise taken have aided me in life and not just job specific ways because like if you I don't know. I don't agree with the whole like defining who you are by your job. I don't want to do everything in my life according to how I'm gonna like have a career and like do that. I want to like be a well-rounded person, rich in a bunch of different ideas and cultures. And I think when you take all these different courses, you open yourself up to new opinions and different critical thinking skills. It really allows you to view things in a different way. So I do think the diversification of classes really helps.
It's also like one art class here and there, one
That's
history
what I'm
class here
saying.
and
And
there.
like
Just take it.
those have been some of my favorite classes in
Yeah.
college. Like when I
Yeah.
took my art courses, we're going over like ancient Greek art or like old paintings, like poems. Like I love that stuff. Like I love that stuff, and it's not something that I'm dedicating a career to, but I'm interested in it. So I like the idea that I'm able to get a formal education in it to actually know what's going on without like dedicating my life to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want to know something that, like, when I was younger, I feel like I was like, oh, this is so stupid. And now I'm like, this is beautiful. Is
What?
poems.
Poems are great.
They're awesome.
Yeah, no, I
Fantastic.
my dad used to write poems sometimes.
Really.
Yeah, definitely like a little out of character for him. Um, I was reading a poem not too long ago. Like, I won't name drop a teacher acquaintance of mine wrote a poem for one of her friends, and it was beautiful. Like she just like as like a gift, like wrote her a poem, and like I
Yeah.
read it, and I was like, I thought I was reading like a poem out of a book. Like it was literally so good. And like, I don't know, dude, if you can't get into that deeper connection side of things, appreciate the fight. Arts are everything, bro. Like people do not appreciate that. Stop cutting the budget for arts in the world, whether it be music, band, art. All of this stuff is so essential to life. And like people always like, oh, that's like a fake career. Could you imagine what your life would be like if you never got to listen to music, if you never got to like look at pretty pictures or like read beautiful poems? Like that's most of the joy in life is being able to experience those things. Like it makes
Yeah.
everything better. So I think it's about time that we start respecting that as an actual part of society.
Kids need
These
poems.
Yes, kids needs poems. If
Kids need
life,
to play the stupid recorder in fifth grade.
yeah, hot crust buns, motherfucker.
Hot
Life,
cross bun. Dude, that shit song was the shit.
yeah, I know, dude. Life sucks. Let us get some enjoyment. Feel like
Yeah.
we're doing something kind of enjoying. Let me look at the sky and draw clouds or something. I won't do that, but I don't know.
I mean,
I'll
hey,
I'll, I'll look at some. How many nights have we spent just like laying on the dirt looking at stars for like 3 hours, just like enjoying life? That's art right there. Nature's art.
art, bro.
People need to learn how to appreciate these things better.
Wow, we just fucking went off about art.
Oh yeah, we take this very
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah. We love our art. And our like all the art teachers, music teachers, stuff like that. Like
Those have been the
guys are
teachers
great.
that have most guided me throughout my life. Like I never think back and I'm like, yo, I should like oh, I went to a museum this weekend. Like my statistics teacher would love to see like how many people visited the museum that day. Like no, I'll go to a museum.
Right.
I'm like, damn, like I remember like this teacher used to tell me about this kind of art, and like I'm looking at this art and I'm like, oh, it's like from this period, it's like this style. And I'm like, wow, they would love to see this picture. Like I feel like they would really enjoy it. I think about like reaching out to old professors and teachers about stuff like that all the time. Or like I'm like, wow, like this this musical soundtrack is like amazing. I wonder if this person's heard that. I never think about that with like it, like I don't read like research articles and be like, damn, dude, my chemistry teacher would love to read this article about valence electrons that I
Even
just
though
found.
he probably would.
He probably would, but that's not coming to my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like
Knowing him, he probably would.
I think art is a huge social thing too. It really brings people together.
Yeah, I agree. You'll never guess how long this episode is.
Are we approaching an hour?
Yeah, we're at 57 minutes.
Really? Look at that.
Dude, I think we talked about vegetables for like 40 of it, but that's okay.
Hey, dude, vegetables are important. People need to get them in. Get those folates in. Leafy
Yeah.
greens.
Vegetables are good. All right, we should probably wrap this up though. So once again, I just want to thank everyone for listening. If you listened to this whole episode, we appreciate you sticking around for our longest episode yet. They'll probably eventually all be around this, hour mark. Hopefully, once we get some more peeps watching, we do really appreciate everyone's support. Again, send it around to your family, your friends, make everyone listen. We really appreciate it. Let us know if there's anything you guys want us to talk about or do with the podcast to make it more enjoyable. We love all the feedback. Any and all feedback is appreciated. Tom, do you have something for the people to send them home?
I just want to thank everybody who's still here listening. Obviously me and Alex are just doing this for fun in our free time. And like, we don't really fully have our feet under the ground with how to do this stuff. It's a learning curve. And really, we just started as a hobby. So it really is nice, like, being like 12 episodes in now.
Yes, sir.
And like, it's really nice getting texts from people who like actually take the time to listen to us. Cause like, if you ask me and Alex, like we don't care if people listen, you know what I'm saying? We're just doing our thing. Like I haven't seen Alex in like maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Like we'd be having these conversations over Zoom anyway.
Yep.
And we'd put them out there. And we don't care if people listen just because, we enjoy it. It gives us something to do. But all the people that do listen, like that really does mean a lot to us. You know what I'm saying? And we love hearing your feedback, and the people who are like consistent and like reach out to us, like we love that. And I hope you guys love yourselves. Salt your tomatoes, throw away your green beans, and have a good week.